What'd you say?
Nothing.
Never mind. You make sure you got your good April. Favorite. Did you get your good side?
Yo. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Is this thing on? I'm your host, Carl Thornton Jr. This is the Justice Network, man. You know how we get down. This is nothing but positive vibes, nothing but motivational things and content here. We try to bring you guys the best guests. And today I got a couple of special guests sitting in the studio today to go along with what I'm talking about. So let's start out over here. We have our special guest, the lovely CC over here in the building.
How y'all doing?
And then we also got the mighty MG over here in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how you guys doing today?
I'm
first.
good. I'm breathing. So blessed to be here.
Breathing and blessed to be here. MG, how you doing, my brother?
Oh, man, fantastic. Back at it again. Let me get my good spectacles on for y'all. My sophisticated, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead. Yeah, it is, you know what I'm saying? Feeling good, feeling fantastic, breathing. A little hungry. Get some chicken after this, you know what I'm saying?
We got to back that light up just a tad bit there.
This one right here? Back this one up?
Yep. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
There we go.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. So thank y'all for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
This is a part of my The Secret of Thinking and Growing Rich. This is the second episode, or volume number 2. So in the first episode, or volume number 1, I was covering the introduction, and I was also covering what was I covering? Oh, the pain statement. Do you guys know what a pain statement is?
No.
All right. So a pain statement is, you guys are kind of young anyway, but this is something that that I think everybody should have. A pain statement is something that you're tired of, right? It's like life is going to throw a bunch of stuff at you regardless, right? And at the end of the day, you have to recognize what life is throwing at you, and then you have to recognize whether or not you want to be here or not, right? That's being broke, that's being miserable, that's being unhappy. You know what I mean? These are all things that will go into your pain statement, right? So the value of a pain statement is, when you're on the trajectory upward, it's knowing what you don't want in life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like a pain statement. It's like things to run away from. Some people don't even realize they don't realize they're in a bad situation because they never really write it down or even realize that they're in these situations. You know what I'm saying? That could be a relationship, that can be a toxic parent, that can be a toxic job, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
If it's not in harmony with what you're doing, if it's not making you happy, then there really ain't no point in you staying around or being a part of it.
Very
so
true.
that's what I covered. That's what I covered in the first one. And I also covered, there's another one in here that I covered. It's called Do, Be, Go, and Have. And this is straight out of my book. So this is from another book that I've read called From Homeless to Billionaire. And the author's name is Andres Pira. This guy was homeless, sleeping on a beach. I think he was in Thailand, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere over there in one of those countries over there. And he ended up becoming a multi-billionaire. And he kind of gives some of the things that he used, some of the tips and tricks and things that he used to become that billionaire. One thing that stood out to me, and a lot of people read the book, and I'm not sure if it resonated with anybody the way it did to me, but I decided I had to put this in my book and then give him some respect. But it's do, be, go, have. Do the actions necessary to attract wealth and unlimited opportunity in your life. Be focused on bringing your future into reality. Go Go think, risk, and believe in more than you feel comfortable in achieving. Have have the confidence and faith that you can do it. Now is the time to turn things around. So live a life full of action, and it starts now. That right there just kind of resonated with me. You know what I mean? Because it really is just, it's so simple
Yeah.
and it's so easy to remember. And these are things that people can live by.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I would have known this stuff when I was your age. I would have been much different right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let me ask you guys a question. Like, how do you guys, let's start with you, CC. How do you motivate yourself? I know you do photography. First, let's just introduce yourself for the people real quick, and then just kind of give a rundown on who you are, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Well, my name is Cece. I have my photography page, which is Pharisees. My name was Pharisees, which is why I named it that. I've been taking pictures for a while now. I take pictures of different things, whether it's architecture, whether it's people, environments, moments, all that, you know. As far as motivation, I think of it as, you know, as far as having faith and having something to work towards. Um, I'm really big on my whole future, so I really want to have something to look back on. I want to have something that my kids can look up to, that I can work towards and build with. I am motivated as far as God in general. I feel like He definitely motivates me. I'm blessed to have what I do have. I'm blessed to have the opportunities, the people that I have around me. So I know tomorrow's never promised. Today is definitely not even over yet. I'm just blessed to take everything one step at a time. And I know what I do now definitely impacts and affects my future. And I don't want a bad one. So that's really what motivates me as far as, you know, making sure that I'm set and set up for my future.
Dope. What about you, MG? Where your motivation come from, brother? Like, first give a little rundown on who you are, what you do, and then talk about like what motivates you, because you do a lot of stuff out here.
Yeah. DJ Money Gang, DJ, artist, producer, signed to Legacy Music Group. Um, I mean, my motivation is just where I came from, just not going back. Um, we all come from a place where you're at a point where you feel like you're in rock bottom. Um, and you never want to go back to that. So not being in that rock bottom position that you were in, you know, that's my motivation. My future is my motivation, like CC as well. Um, just making sure that my future is secure for what's next. You know, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to take care of my mom, put her in a different position. So just thinking about different stuff like that. That's really my motivation of just not quitting. Like you already came far enough. You're here now. Don't stop now when it's right there in front of you. You don't even know how close you are.
So I'm gonna say, so there's a story 3 feet from gold, right? The story goes, and I'm probably gonna mess it up a little bit, but what the story goes is that there was a guy that was during the gold rush, had a farm or whatever the case may be, or no, he didn't have a farm. I'm sorry. He started joining into the gold rush, and he found that there was a spot. I don't know exactly where. He found that there was some gold there, right? So he thought he was going to do this, and he thought he was going to get rich. So what he did was he bought all the equipment in the world, hired on a bunch of people, and the getting is good, right? The getting is good at this little place that he found. And then all of a sudden the vein just dried up. No more gold, right? And he just kept doing it, kept digging, no more gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up selling off the property and all the equipment that he had on that property to mine gold. So the person that came in and bought it was a person that, you know, he was smart enough to do some research, right? So he hired in some people to come in and check and scout the land and see exactly if this land was dried up from gold. Turns out that the guy, if he just would have kept going and would have went 3 feet down further into the earth, he would have found the richest gold vein in the history of the world.
Ooh.
He stopped 3 feet short.
Yeah, those hurt.
Yes.
That hurts.
So I'm saying that to say, like, we don't never know where our 3 feet is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
most of the time we're goal oriented beings. we have to have goals.
Yeah.
Do you guys set goals for yourself?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you write them down?
No.
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, Cece, I'm gonna put you to the test real quick.
Okay.
All right, so because there's a lot of people that say they write goals, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to check and see if you set your goals the right way. Okay. So let's start with do you have a 5-year goal?
I do.
You have a 1-year goal?
1 year. I do.
Okay. And then do you have like an immediate goal? Like
Yes.
something that you're working on right now?
Yes.
Okay. So describe your immediate goal to me.
My immediate goal is getting my mind and body right. As far as mentally and physically getting set to where I want to be. So as far as physically, I've been signing up for the gym, getting bikes, riding, walking, stretching, exercising. Not every day. I don't like to set like impossible goals, but more like at least do something, either whether it's throughout the day, throughout the week. I got a water bottle because I don't drink enough water as it is. So I had the water bottle with the times and stuff, and drink as much as I can. And even though I may not finish the whole bottle, I know at least I drank water that day.
Mhm.
So it's not complete, success, but it is progress. And that's what my main goal is to not go crazy, but at least make progress and build and do better, really.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that. So what if I was to tell you that um whatever it is that you set your mind to, you can accomplish no matter how crazy it sounds.
Hmm.
But you have to know exactly what it is that you want. Okay, so let's take it like this. Let's say you're sending an email to somebody, right?
Okay.
If you're sending an email to somebody and you really wanted, like, and this person that you're sending this email to can give you anything that you possibly could imagine in the world, right?
Hmm.
And you're sending this email to this person. How descriptive would you be when you're sending this email? Right? So let's take your example, for instance, like your goal, and you did a good job. But if it's vague, then the universe fills in the rest, right? So if you were saying that you wanted to get in shape, what does that look like for you, right? So whenever I set a goal, I always ask myself who, what, why, when, where, and then how. If you ask yourself that question to any one of your goals, you'll come up with enough of a description for that thing to manifest for you. Like
Okay.
what you guys are sitting in right now is a manifestation of what I manifested. You know what I mean? And I didn't stop until I got it to where it clicked. You know what I'm saying? It's like turning a dial, right? And you'll know when it clicks for you. You know, if you have a vision and your goal is set properly, it'll click for you. You know what I mean? When you get it right there. Sometimes you're just kind of throwing things in the dark or whatever, but you know exactly what it is that you want. But then once you get it, click, it just clicks into place and you just know, okay, I'm here. I can move forward. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, when you're setting your goals, make sure that you don't leave anything to chance, right? Like, let's say this. Let's say I got a question for you, MG. Let's say, um, let's describe your ideal house. Let's let's take a look at the house that MG would live in a year.
Okay. Without detail or up to detail?
Oh, I want detail.
You want detail? I don't honestly want nothing crazy. I mean, I'd be fine with a 1 bedroom or even a 2 bedroom, but definitely want a penthouse. Definitely want that penthouse vibe. Um, how I envision it, uh, the room is downstairs. So my room and everything else is downstairs. Living room is upstairs.
Mhm.
The reason why I want it like that is because it's different. You know, everything that you keep near and dear to yourself, or it's almost like a bat cave. It's like, all right, I'm going downstairs to be myself.
Mhm.
You know, upstairs, that's everybody. Everybody know upstairs. You know, living room, you around all your people. But you got that downstairs, you got your room. Definitely a workout room, studio, and that'd pretty much be it. To be quite honest, just bathrooms, of course. You know, I gotta take a shower and all that good stuff.
Now, what if I told you your vision is in the heart of the ghetto, right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What if I told you that your vision didn't have a roof on it?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? What if I told you that your vision was lacking so many holes that the universe will fill in blanks and some of the stuff that you missed is going to get filled in by a lot of the shit that you don't want?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example, right? So let's just say your room, for instance, right?
Mm.
Okay, I'll tell you about my room. So my room will be big. I want a big, giant, round, custom-made bed, big round headboard to go with it. I want a little chair at the end of the bed that's brown, right? And then from that view, when I'm laying in my bed, I got a TV that pops up out of the wall with a fireplace under it. You know what I'm saying? And then on the left side of that, you walk into your master bathroom.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you have a big, giant, long 18-foot shower, you know what I mean, with a shower head on this side and a shower head on this side, and then it has the custom shower heads that wash your whole body. You know what I'm saying? And then it has a separate tub, and the tub has jets in it, and it has a little pedestal that you got to walk up a couple of steps to get into the jetted tub. You know what I mean? The tub is porcelain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on the right side of that, you have the walk-in closet. We got a his and hers closet, right? My closet is closer to the bathroom. Her closet is off of the master bedroom. But let's talk about my closet. I want my closet to be big. I want my closet to have like a little island in there. So if I want to put my watches, or if I need to lay my clothes down or iron my, you see what I'm saying? You see how the difference
detail.
is? Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you add that detail in there, you'll be surprised what starts to happen in your life really fucking quick. You know what I mean? Or let's say this, you'll start to get the ideas that are in harmony with what you want. You know what I mean? As long as you have the description of what you want and you know what it looks like, because believe it or not, you're probably picturing the stuff I was talking about, right?
Definitely.
How was it when you were describing yours, were you able to picture it, or was it just kind of,
it was just in the air?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see the difference now?
Yeah.
And that's what my book is about. That's what the book does for you.
Okay.
So you lay out all that in a way where you can describe it, you can burn it to your memory, and then once you start to imagine it, then funny things start happening. You know what I mean? So the title of the book is The Secret of Thinking and Growing Rich. And I'm not really talking about money, really. I'm really talking about being rich in everything else that money can't buy, because that's what really makes you rich. In relationships, in integrity, just the things that money can't buy. Money is money. You'll get money, you'll spend money, you'll get money, and you'll spend money. Family, love that you can't buy is irreplaceable, because you lose it, could be gone forever. You know what I'm saying? So Cece, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since you heard that description that I gave to MG,
beautiful.
Let's hear a description of your ideal place to live.
You got enough time for that?
I do, yeah.
I've always dreamt of having a one story. Kind of for the same reason as him, but not really the same, because it's one story. But I wanted my bedroom to be on the bottom floor. I want a wide kitchen. I feel the heart of the house is the kitchen. So I want a really wide kitchen. I want the middle, I can't think of what it's called, the little counter.
Like a little island.
Yeah, I want the island, but I want bar stools next to the island. That way it's like in the middle to where you can eat there instead of having a table to eat at. I'd rather an island. I want like more of like a brown kitchen to where it has like brown cabinets, but like a dark brown cabinet, like to where it's like chocolate brown. The island's gonna be like more marbled. I want my kitchen to have, I know some kitchens have like where it's like two-sided sinks.
Mhm.
I want it to be like one-sided sink, but then it has like, the whole racks and everything for the plates and things like that. I do not want a dishwasher. I do not want a dishwasher.
I'm at the buzz you for that one.
Oh God.
Why? Why?
Me personally, I've grown up in a home where that was the main thing. My mama always saying, wash the dishes, wash the dishes, wash the dishes. We never used our dishwasher unless it was for storage. I feel personally, I don't know if I'm paranoid, I don't know if I got OCD or whatever, but I like my dishes clean. And I don't do dirty, I don't do germs, I don't like any of that. So I feel I can clean it better than a couple jets in a dishwasher can. So
Okay.
me personally, I prefer to not have a dishwasher and do it more myself. So I'd want all the equipment and things like that, scrubbers, all that. That way I can get everything out of my dishes. Like I said, kitchen's the heart.
So what I do with my dishes, I wash them completely and then I put them in the dishwasher
To
too.
rinse.
They get double washed.
Okay.
You know
I
what I'm
could do
saying?
that. Personally, I could do that.
Yeah, because my mom made sure, because like, okay, despite of what you see on the commercials when they just grab the dish, it be hella
Mhm.
food, and they just throw it in the dishwasher. You know what I'm saying? And they
Okay.
come out, "Ding, ding." No,
Okay.
that shit get burnt on there,
Uh-huh.
100%. And then you gotta, and it gets,
Hands,
and
all
it's hard.
that.
Yeah, then
No.
it gets hard. Nobody want to eat off no spaghetti riddle plate. You know what I'm
No.
saying? But
The
anyway, I'm sorry to
orange
interrupt
stains and everything. I can't.
you. Yeah, for real. All right. So go ahead and finish your description.
But yeah, the kitchen is the heart of the heart of my house. So I'd want that. I'd want a tea maker. I'd want a smoothie maker. Well, tea machine. I'd want all that in my home. Refrigerator. I gotta have a 2-door refrigerator with a water filter.
Got to.
I would be so upset if I don't have a water filter on my fridge. I feel like I need that on my fridge. I'm gonna have water bottles in the fridge, of course, but in case people don't want to use cups, add extra dishes. But I want the filtered water. Um, my sink, I wanted to have like that little nozzle to where the water can like come down and things like that.
Okay.
Um, that's just the kitchen. I want my home to have at least 3 bathrooms. I'm a big family person, so I know I want to have like a family. I want not a perfect family, but like the whole mom, dad, the 3 kids, hopefully 2 boys and a girl. But I want them to, of course, have their own bathroom. I want my bathroom, and I want a guest bathroom. That way, I have all 3. Um, my living room, as I said, I'm big on brown. I could do either brown or black living room. I'd want a sectional for my living room. The walls, of course, brown or like a pale nude color. Um, I prefer not a TV. I've always said I want a projector. I really want a projector in my living room, so that's definitely a necessity I feel I'd have to have in my house. Um, I'd want end tables. I'd want not like a mini fridge, but more like a little, like how people have like a little cocktail station.
Hmm.
I'd rather it have like snacks.
Like kind of like a mini bar type thing.
Yeah, like
Okay.
a mini bar with food.
Okay.
Like chips, candy. I'd like for it to have all that. I needed to have all that. Like watch movies on a projector, have movie nights and things like that, or family and things like that.
Okay.
I'd have to have like a little cabinets where it has blankets and things like that for my house. That way you can sit on a couch in case it get cold or anything like that. Um, guest bathroom. I don't really mind if it has a shower or anything like
Yeah,
that.
we
If
don't
it
care about the
does, then
guest
yeah.
bathroom. We don't care about none of
Um,
that.
my room personally, I'd want I want it big, but I don't want it like to where the bed just fills up the whole room.
Hmm.
I'd prefer a king size bed, no bigger than that. I'm 5 foot. I'm gonna fit on almost any bed, so I like to sleep in the middle. So I'm like, I need the space. I'd have a king size bed. The room. I'd like to have a mirror along the wall in my room. That way I can, whenever I get dressed and things like that, see my whole outfit and all that. I'd like to mirror on the side of the wall. And don't ask why, but I like the mirror on my ceiling. I want a mirror on my ceiling.
We know why.
What you got up there going on?
Yeah, yeah.
I need a mirror on my ceiling. I need a walk-in closet. I need a walk-in closet. That's been my biggest thing. Even looking at places, I really want a walk-in closet in my home. So I need a walk-in closet where it has the rails on the top, has the drawers on the bottom. As you had said with yourself, the whole, area to set your stuff on, jewelry and things like that. I'd want a nightstand by my bed. Um, my bathroom, I want it to have a shower and a tub. That way, I can have both. I prefer not to have the whole you step into the shower to where it turns into a tub.
Hmm.
So I definitely would prefer to have both. I want the bathtub to be big enough for whoever I end up with to fit inside. Because that's apparently a man's biggest thing, trying to fit into the tub. And they be like, I'm too tall for this. We gonna have to do something. We gotta work. And I'm like, I'm 5 foot. I can fit into it. I don't know about you. So I need a bigger tub. And definitely to have the shower. I want a really, really big backyard. I want my backyard to be big, to have a tire swing from a tree. Um, I oddly want to have a tree house and things like that. Some type of structure that way I have in my backyard. I want to have a pool, not nothing too big, too crazy, but like about 5, 6 feet deep pool. Um, pool, trampoline, patio station where I can have my grills, I can have a table, umbrella, all that. My house that I'm in, we have about 4 different umbrellas in my backyard. Don't ask me why, but definitely want all that. I may or may not want a hot tub. I haven't decided on it yet as far as in my backyard with a pool and a hot tub, obviously, because there's a lot I'm already picturing back there. But yeah, that's pretty much my house.
Okay. So now, so do you see how much fun you're having describing that?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you smiling, you cheesing, you just kind of going in. I'm sure I was picturing it while you were describing it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Just trying to see if I can get a picture of it in my head, even if it wasn't your vision, it was what you were describing to me. It was going to be somewhat of a something that I was putting together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So what I was doing was like what has to happen, and a lot of people miss this when they talk about manifestation. They never are as that descriptive as you were when you were just describing your house. So manifestation is this thing that people it's kind of trendy right now. I want to manifest this, or I'm putting it into the atmosphere, or whatever the case may be, but it's a bunch of vague stuff. You know what I mean? So the reason why they don't get anything that they're trying to manifest is because they never describe it the way you just described your house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever you are setting your goals, again, all you have to do is ask yourself those who, what, why, when, where, how. That's it. Actually, I wouldn't even worry about the how. The how takes care of itself. The how to me is God.
Where?
Yeah. So so really what I've noticed, right? When I started on this journey about 7 years ago or so, I was probably in the worst time of my life. You know what I mean? Depressed, and I had to make a decision because I was so low that I didn't know what it felt like to be happy anymore. You know what I mean? If you can imagine me just being depressed and unhappy. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen me like that since you met me?
Never.
Yeah. So now it's like there's things
Can't
that
even imagine it.
yeah, and I can't even imagine myself like that no more.
Can't even imagine
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I had to do was I had to make a decision, right? So there's things and conditions that people have, us human beings that we have that we think are permanent, but they're not. It's just you haven't made the decision to change it. Nothing is permanent. It's just you haven't made the decision to change it. So I tell people that are depressed or going through or suffer from anxiety or anything like that it's not happening to you because it's very real. You know what I mean? It's very real. I'm not downplaying anything. I was there before. But what happens when you make the decision to not be that way no more? That's when the magic starts to happen. And that is something that it doesn't take weeks to happen. It don't take days. It's a moment. When we're talking change, we're talking like just like that. You can go from it's just like, okay, let's say you were mad. Let's say you were mad and you're whatever, you're feeling some type of way and your favorite song comes on. Does that favorite song have the ability to get you out of that madness and get you happy, right?
Definitely, yeah.
It's the same thing with depression. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is. But you just have to make a decision. You allowed so if you're mad or you're feeling some type of way and a song comes on, you allow yourself to get rid of it
Mhm.
and be happy, what's holding you back from doing that in any other situation?
Very true.
Yeah. Normally it's pride. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. There's a lot of pride to act like you're okay when you're not.
Yeah.
But then there's also a lot of pride to hold on to something longer than what you need to, even if it's not good for you.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she likes to throw these words around. And I'm just like, she's young, she's 15, she's a young lady going through whatever she's going through, but she's thinking everything that she's going through is permanent. You know what I'm saying? And then I try to talk to her and I'm trying to let her know that it's not permanent. You just haven't made the decision to get out of it yet.
Right.
And when I say make a decision to get out of it, doesn't mean that, you can make a decision to get out of it. And what I mean, what starts to happen after that is you can go get help. You know what I'm saying? People that don't make the decision to go get out of it, they won't go get help. It's like an alcoholic that never makes the decision to not be an alcoholic no more. Will he ever go get help or will he continue to drink? You know what I'm saying? When he makes that decision, all of a sudden, help is available. All of a sudden, this person goes to meetings. All of a sudden, this person stops drinking. All of a sudden, this person stops doing the things that put him in the predicament that made him or her drink anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it really is about making decisions. And when you make the decisions, all of a sudden the tools start to pop up in your life that help you do it. Just as the same way, if you made a bad decision, all those tools pop up for that too. You know what I mean? I think in this life, everything is premeditated in some type of way. And it starts with thought, then you feel some type of way about it, and then actions. That's the way everything happens. You think about it, you feel some type of way, and then you act about it. You know what I'm saying? And it never happens any other kind of way. There's like spontaneous things that people say. No, it started in the head first. You know what I mean? Like if I was to go out and go rob a bank, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about it. I'm just not about to go rob no bank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm about to go commit a crime, I'm not just about to go do it.
Like,
You know what I mean?
bro, you thought about that shit. You knew what you was doing.
Exactly. Even if it was like 5 minutes before. You know what I mean? I could be walking by a bank like, oh, I'm about to go rob this joint.
How would I do it?
Yep. And then I'm gonna be picturing like, okay, let me see. I see this person over here. Okay, cool. And then I start feeling some type of way about it, like, yeah, I can actually pull this off. And then I go act and take my ass to jail.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think about it long enough. But now let me ask you guys this. So another portion in my book is a self-analysis.
Okay.
Have you guys ever done a self-analysis?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
To what extent?
To the extent of like what I'm feeling or like what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. And then I try to just go from there.
Okay. Perfect. What about you, CC? What about you?
She
Do
said,
do you do any self-analysis?
Kind of. I kind of just look at my actions. I look at most things as far as, every cause has an effect.
Yes.
I feel everything is done for a reason. People act a certain way for a reason. People go about things for a certain reason. I feel the cause is more important than the effect. So it's like one of those people could be like, oh, that person did this, this, and this to you. How are you, still good? And it's like, no, you got to ask yourself, why did they do that? Why do you feel anything? Well, not anything, but more as, how that could have happened. I feel everything having a cause and effect. I feel we all play a part. So I look at my part in things rather than trying to dwell on somebody else's. Because it's one of those, you can't make nobody else do nothing. Can't make nobody else say nothing. They going to do and say and feel how they want to. So it's more on I analyze and look at how I either escalated the situation or how I could have responded to the situation differently. And I focus on more of my part in everything I do every day. And when I do that, I try and analyze it.
So you touched on something very interesting. And I think this is probably one of the golden rules besides treat others the way you want to be treated. But you can't change somebody. You can never change anybody. The only person you can change is yourself. That's the only person you can change. And when we try to change other people, we try to fit people into some sort of a mold. That's when we run into issues. You know what I mean? And I've learned that over my years in life that you can't change people. So I'll give you an example, right? If you were just hanging around with a bunch of clowns and you really ain't no clown, right?
Never.
And you never thought about being no clown. You never ever wanted to be no clown, right? But then you decided to hang around with these clowns. Now, either a couple of things will go happen, right?
Turn into a clown.
You either turn into a clown or you're just gonna resist.
You are who you associate yourself with.
Exactly, right?
Like
So I say that to say the only way you can change somebody really is by changing yourself.
Yeah.
And you can make it so uncomfortable for them that they're either going to leave or they're going to join.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only two choices.
Or leave.
Yeah, exactly. And at that point, if you get yourself to that level, you're not even going to care.
Nope.
You not going to care. You know what I mean? It's that self-love component that we're missing. But anyway, let's go to the self-analyst real quick. And I'm just going to ask you guys a couple of questions that I have inside the self-analysis. And you don't have to answer these. You don't have to answer them.
Yeah.
I just want to see y'all faces when I'm asking these questions.
I'm gonna answer.
Yeah, you can answer.
I'm gonna answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
And this is something that's in the book.
Okay.
And this is private. You know what I mean? This is something that you don't have to share with anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is one of them things where
this is one of them books you can interact with, huh?
For sure.
Oh, I'm about to do that when I get home. I can't wait.
And it's one of them things, man, where you
Where can I find this?
It's on Amazon.
$25. I'll buy it for you.
I might have another copy for you.
I love interactive books, especially this type. Oh yeah.
But see, and my thing is like I know I've sold a bunch of these already, and I know there's like a certain population that's just not going to use it. You know what I mean? Because they're just not ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the way life is. Either you're ready or you're not. I
Mhm.
try to make the book so it doesn't force you to be ready. You can use this at any time in your life. Whether you're ready now, whether you start a little bit and then come back to it, this thing will be is ready for
It'll
it.
be
It's,
right there.
it's literally the guide.
Yeah.
But let me start off to I'm just gonna go with the first question.
Okay.
And let's start with you then, Cece.
Okay.
And you're young. So, this is one of them things too where you can actually get ahead of the game. All right. So the
Stay
first
ahead.
question: how have you been doing everything you can to be successful?
No, not at all.
Very honest question. Or very honest answer. Okay. And if not, why not?
Fear,
I got
fear
something for
and
you on that.
self-doubt.
Mm,
Um Worrying about what others say and worrying about how it will affect others and how other people are already affected by it, just the thought even. I've had a lot of different paths that I've thought about going towards in my life as far as my career and my life. Um, Even with photography, I've been taking pictures since I was young. I've been drawing since I was young. I did gymnastics. I used to do hip hop classes. I used to sing my heart out since I was about 2. My favorite song was "Let
nice.
It Go" by Keisha Cole, and
Okay.
still known by it. So I'm absolutely not doing all I feel I could. So it's definitely self doubt and fear as far as myself. It's like even what you said with depression, it's like one of those things where it's like it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
It's not hard to take that first step and just do it.
Yeah.
And it's real easy to say you can do it. And it's like you can be told about it and have all the information in the world. It's up to you whether or not you use it and do something about it. So I for sure don't feel I've been doing all I could be. So it's definitely self doubt and the fear of failing, but
Mm.
can't.
What if I told you that the fear of failure is unnatural? What if I told you, okay, let me ask you a question. Let's take it back to when you're a baby.
Hmm.
What do you think you feared when you were a baby?
Not a thing.
Not a damn thing. Fear is a learned behavior, right?
Yes.
We learn fear from
Your
the
head.
people, yeah, but the people who raise us
Hmm.
when we're walking, oh, don't touch that. Oh, you gonna get burnt. Oh,
Why?
don't do that. Or people make fun of us for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Oh, look at your toenails. Oh, look at your hair. Oh, and then all of a sudden, even though it could be funny at the time or whatever, and we crack jokes, when you get a little bit older, what happens is, ooh, maybe my toenails is a little messed up. Ooh, maybe my lips are a little crusty. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? We started to think about this. But in actuality, being human beings, we weren't bred to fear that. We weren't supposed to be afraid of criticism. We were not supposed to be afraid to be who we are. It's really a learned behavior. When we're kids, when we're babies, the only thing we fear, believe it or not, and you guys will understand this when you're kids or when you have kids of your own, the only thing we fear is falling and loud noises.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's real tangible something. You know what I mean? That's what we come out with naturally.
Sounds about right.
Oh, and
Yeah.
it's so scary.
Yeah. Like if you go in front of a kid and you just make a loud ass noise, they go,
Oh
or if
shit.
you act like you're dropping them, I can go point a gun in the kid's face right now. Listen, hey,
Hey, we're not
hey,
saying that.
I'm not saying I'm gonna
We're
do it,
not
but what I'm
doing that.
saying is that's something
They're
that
gonna try and touch it like, what's that?
No, but I'm talking like just baby wise. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the baby, we think the baby is just so um I don't even know what you want to call it, but the baby is probably one of the most powerful beings on the planet in its most natural state.
Definitely.
Even kids are more powerful than we are as adults because they haven't been molded and groomed to fear yet.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? They can manifest like what you guys were doing with that imagination. They can manifest and shape things in ways you would not believe.
Yeah.
You can see kids really having a good ass time with themselves and don't need nobody else. Then we go through school, and then they knock the imagination out of us.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then all of a sudden, it's hard for us to. It's like taking an old ass lawnmower, right? And the gas old. You know what I mean? You this is our imagination. Trying to imagine
Yeah.
some things. You know what I mean? Trying to get that up, but we're we are meant to have an imagination,
Mm.
right? And we're not meant to fear criticism. So what I would tell you, CC, about that is, I would say, look, if anybody else can do it, you can do it,
Mhm.
right? You're not an ugly person. I know you've seen some people and you be like, hey, look, if he can get on camera or she can get on camera, I can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
So it's all about comparing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's your own fear that's going to stop you from getting these opportunities.
Yep.
Because there's going to be opportunities on the table for you if you're not, if you don't have the here I am, I don't care what you think about me moments, then you're going to be living in fear. And then people that live in fear, they get nothing. They get no rewards. They don't get any opportunity because they're too scared to take them. They're not confident. So you want me to give you a real good way to build your confidence?
Yes, please.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah,
I look, boy, give it to me. Let me hear that.
Education. Simple.
Knowledge.
A person who knows what the hell they're talking
Knowledge is
about,
power.
a person who knows what they're talking about
Knowledge is power for
is
sure.
the most confident person in the room, right? Because if somebody was to come check you on something that you say you're supposed to know,
And then
and
you
you know
don't
it,
know.
yeah, and you don't know,
Yeah.
that's the fear. That's where the fear comes in,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, wait, I'm sweating a little bit.
Exactly. But if you hold your own and you have the knowledge that you need to, you can hold a conversation with anybody. And that's where that's actually where the knowledge comes, that's where the fear of failure and the confidence starts to get out of the way when you start to educate yourself. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. You'll start to figure out like, damn, I can hold my conversation. I can hold a conversation with anybody. If anybody asks me a question about this, then I can answer it. And if I don't know, I just don't know. And I'm okay to know that I don't know. And it really is okay to not know everything. Nobody knows everything, right? All right, MG, your turn, sir.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's pick out one of these. Ooh. So this is actually a real thing. And I just kind of turned to this and my finger was on it.
Uh-oh.
And this is kind of based off of kind of going off of what CC asked a little bit. But
Okay.
another question is here. Do you fear success?
I want to say no, but there's so much that comes with success. It gets a little scary. Like, especially like in the field that we're in this artistry shit. So can I curse? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
There's all this talk about what really goes on.
mm-hmm.
And that is scary.
Yes.
I've psyched myself out a couple of times. And I never talked about this, but I got a call from somebody. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was actually possessed at that time when he called me. And he was like, he was saying my whole name, my full name, never gave anybody my full name. I don't give that out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm money gang to you. You don't know my full name.
Yeah.
But he's literally saying my full name and saying, you owe me for what I've done for you in your career. Scared the shit out of me. Because now I'm thinking I'm talking to the devil and I'm like, hey, bruh, you ain't done shit for me. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I quit. I stopped doing everything. I quit music. I quit producing. I
Mhm.
quit everything. So I'm like, that's not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for demonic shit. I signed up for myself because I love this and just to do it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to success like that, yeah, it scared the shit out of me. I
Yeah.
was like, oh no.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I
Yeah.
dealt with the same stuff and I quit.
Yeah, I quit. I was done.
Yeah.
But thanks to you and everybody else here, I found a good label that is actually wholesome and not in it for that reason. We're actually in it to change the city, change the world, and help millions of people. So, got instantly involved in that. And now I'm just, when it comes down to success, I'm itching for it.
Yeah.
Because I know what we're doing. We're going to schools, going to different places, helping out different people, changing lives. I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to have so much money in my bank account where it's like, oh, you're about to go to college. How much is your college? Go to college.
Yeah.
You got this going on. What you need? Here.
Yep.
I'm helping you, but I'm doing it my own way.
Yeah.
And not doing it the way of the other side.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm eager for it. I used to be scared of it, but I'm eager for it now. I'm itching for it now.
That's dope, man, because so on the opposite side of fear
Mm-hmm.
is success. You know what I mean? But you got to conquer that fear, right?
Right.
So in order for you to be successful, you got to face it. You know what I mean? You just got to look it straight in the eye and be like, whether you gonna eat me up or not, or I'm gonna survive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You really just showed like a both ends of the spectrum, right? If you let fear conquer you, you do nothing. If you get over your fears, you start to do everything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's really just night and day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're scared, you gonna go lay under a rock and you're just gonna be sitting there in fear.
Sitting there forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then if you decide you're gonna be brave, because it takes a lot of bravery, number one, to be able to be vulnerable,
Definitely.
to be able to put things that you think about and put it out there for the public. Like you don't understand how hard it was for me to be writing this book here, publishing it, and then actually on here doing what I'm doing with this. You know what I mean? Like,
Great book.
huh?
It's a great book.
Thank you, sir. I
Fantastic.
appreciate it. But it's a lot of bravery in this, man. And I figure like I found out that along this journey, there's gonna be times where you really gotta be brave. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if you're not, then you're gonna be scared and then you're gonna miss out on opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know who can be watching this right now. There can be somebody watching this and see it, and you have to be ready for the opportunities when they come for you. You can't do that if you're scared.
They better watch this now. There's a lot of gems being dropped.
I do got some eyeballs on it, man. You know,
a lot of gems are being dropped right now.
All right, I got another one.
What's going on?
Well,
who is this one for? CC or me?
I'm gonna do this one for both of y'all. I'm gonna start with you, MG, and then we're gonna go to CC on that one.
Okay.
Do you fear criticism?
No, I love it. I want it. I want it at all costs, because that's one of them things where not only are you criticizing me, but you're also giving me your input on something somebody else may be thinking the same thing.
Mm.
So you had the opportunity to come tell me something that may help me. Now, if I just think you're full of horseshit, I'll just think you're full of horseshit.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But if I'm so used to criticism now where it's like I'm actually going to listen to you and really take in what you say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, simple. And I was thinking, Dylan was here yesterday.
Mhm.
And he was like, I got some opportunities for you. And it's been in my mind all night. But he's like, I got some opportunities for you. The only thing is, you'll be an opener. And I'm like, I have no problem doing that. But me as an opener, it's going to be hard for them to follow along. And he was like, well, you can't turn them up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, well, you know who I am, right? Like, you know what I do? Like,
yeah.
But he was like, it could be some good opportunities and, it'll get your name out there. And I'm like, how? And I really thought back, how can that get me out there? How can that tell people, hey, give him a shot to see what he can do when I'm giving you the bare minimum?
Mm.
So that's been really something that's been in my head, and I've just been thinking about it. And, it's an opportunity, but it's also constructive criticism, because it's like, hey, this will show them that you're not just a hype man. You can also tone it down a little bit. So it's one of them things in my head where I'm like, I'm fighting with each other. Like, okay, what are we finna do? What are we taking it? Where are we taking it? So,
I got something for you on that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that too, because that's deep.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's take a look at the general population, right? If you take a look at a triangle, the triangle starts really big on the bottom, and then on the way up, it just gets smaller, right?
Right.
The bottom of the triangle really does represent the bulk of people, right? And the bulk of people would have a mindset similar to what you were saying right there. So in order for you to go into a situation like that confidently, you have to go into it understanding who you are, and then knowing that someplace you go run the whole mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'll give you me, for instance, right? When I used to work for people, I didn't go in there looking to be a manager, and I would get passed up every single time. I didn't never go in there looking to move up the ranks, and I would get passed up every single time.
Right.
I just went in there because I just needed a job.
Right.
So when you go into a situation, do you just need this for this, or are you going in there with a purpose?
With a purpose.
If you go in there with a purpose, you know what I mean? Like if you go in there and be like, okay, I'm gonna take this opportunity, but at the end of the day, I'm about to be the best out of all of y'all. I'm gonna start at the janitor. I'm gonna start sweeping the floors.
Right.
But pretty soon, y'all gonna be sweeping the floors for me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the mindset that you have to go into in any situation. Like, okay, cool. You can humble yourself. I can start at the bottom. That's cool.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm about to be running this whole thing.
Right.
Because I'm just that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you know what the it factor is, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what goes into the it factor?
No.
Nobody knows what goes into the it factor except for the people that have it. And
Right.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what the it factor is. The it factor is what's on your mind when you're working, what's on your mind when you're going through the day-to-day, whatever you're going through, what's on your mind when you're DJing. It's a different feel.
Mhm.
When you got goals on your mind that you about to run this whole thing, that's that it factor.
Yeah.
Because the people that have the it factor, they are it, right?
Right.
They usually be at that level, right? It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because what's on their mind, believe it or not, when you start to change your mindset and you stop minimizing and you start thinking bigger and you start thinking, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get to where I need to go. Believe it or not, the aura around you will change. People will start to be like, man, this dude is different.
Yeah.
Different dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't have people tell me that. I didn't know why. You know what I mean? Like if you were to not know me and I just walked through a room, do you think I would grab your attention at all?
No.
So let me ask you this. So if you looked at me, would you be like, I wonder what the fuck that dude's thinking about?
No, you really don't think about that.
When you see somebody, you don't be like, man, I wonder what that dude's
Every now and then I do. Every now and then, I'm not with everybody, but like I'll see somebody and I'll be like, what is he doing? Like,
So have you ever seen somebody like, okay, let's say if you were in the setting, right?
Mhm.
Because it's a real specific type of an energy. And I'll give you an example. I went to a club one time, right? I went my homeboy DJ Finesse. Shout out to DJ Finesse in Vegas.
Shout out DJ Finesse.
Yes, sir. He came down here from Vegas, right? And we went to this club. And there was this dude in there, man. And this dude, he had like a female with him or whatever, but he was just chilling. He didn't say a word. He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't going crazy. He wasn't going dumb. He was just standing there. And the energy off of this dude was just ridiculous. And I was just like, damn. I wonder what this dude does for a living. You know what I mean? I wonder what this dude's day-to-day life looks like.
Oh yeah, definitely. We definitely been with one of them. Yeah.
You
Like,
see what I'm saying?
I wonder what he does. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like that. That's like that it factor. You know what I mean? That person has something. They're not thinking about the average everyday things that everyday people think about. They think about something that's much higher. When you do that, your whole aura changes.
Right.
You got a whole energy just blasting off of you that people just start to recognize. You know what I mean? It just draws people into you or make people want to wonder about you.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got
So
you.
my advice to you is on these little DJing things, yeah, take them. You know you better, right? Why not? But when you go into it, just know what you're going into it for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you were to get a job somewhere, you know what I mean? Don't just get the job to get the job. Get the job to run the whole place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then people will start to recognize you. If you just go in there to get a job, why would they bring you up if you there to do exactly what you wanted to do?
Right.
You just there to work. Why would they move you up
if you just there to work?
If you just there to work. You know what I'm saying? They feel that too.
Yeah.
Because your work and your aura and your body language is going to dictate exactly what you're there for. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense, huh?
It makes sense. That's gonna kill me because I'm like Allen Iverson. And I'm like, what are we talking about practice? This is just practice. What are we talking about?
Yep, but you got to pay your dues, brother.
I do. It'll open up a lot of opportunities. It'll get more venues involved, and if them other DJs can't show up,
boom,
there it is.
You'll be surprised if you just take a look at people's stories. Right? It's always a little something that happens when you take advantage of opportunities. If you just take a look at anybody's story, it's always, man, such and such got injured, such and such couldn't show up, such and such couldn't make it here, and they just called me and I was ready.
Yeah.
If you ain't ready, you can't take advantage of the opportunity.
Right.
If you always ready and you taking advantage of the opportunity because you don't know when your opportunity gonna be,
right,
you gonna be ready when it comes. 100% facts. Because somebody go get injured, somebody go get sick, somebody gonna go, and you just doing what you do, knowing you go run this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who they gonna go to? They're not about to go to the person that's there to just work.
Nah.
They're going to the person that want to run this thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, CC.
Clap, girl.
All right, CC.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you the same question.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of hinted on it a little bit. And you heard what I told Money Gang.
Mm-hmm.
But do you fear criticism? And if you do, why?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Depending on the criticism, a little bit. I feel the more important it is to you, the bigger it is to you and for you, the more scary it'll be to have criticism. Because some people do fear failing. So having that be there is more as, okay, this criticism means I'm not doing something right. It means there's something in here that needs to change.
Mm.
Sometimes not just something, sometimes you gotta change how you're doing it. And it's like one of those, if you're not even comfortable with making that change. So me personally, sometimes it's like, especially if I'm doing something for a long period of a time and then I get criticized, say I'm near the end and I end up getting criticized and I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, no. I've never been big on criticism. I've been real independent in a lot of things that I do. I feel my biggest critic is myself.
Mhm.
I feel I'm the hardest person on myself with what I do. So, if anything, criticism from other people, especially people who may not know me, people who may not know, um, say the way I prefer doing things, say how I do things in general, and them not, agreeing with it shows okay. This whole time I haven't been doing something right.
Mm.
So it's not more as fearing what they say. It's more as fearing, okay, this is going to change a lot of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
Mm.
So, like, say when I was younger, math was my best subject. I loved math. I loved it because it was a challenge. So, with all the steps and all the things you do in math, one number that's off can give you a completely different outcome.
That's correct.
So having that one thing be off, and then sometimes you may not even know what was off, and you're so confident in your result, and it's like, okay, I know the answer. I know the answer. Then you tell your answer, everybody agrees, no, you're wrong. And then you look at it again, and I'm like, wait, this is off right here.
Mm.
And then it makes you re-look at it, reanalyze it, redo it, and then get a completely different outcome.
Yes.
And it's like sometimes the outcome may be positive, sometimes the outcome may be negative. And taking one person's perspective, it's like, okay, this is one out of say 100 that actually agree with it. So it's like one of those, should you change it for that one that's criticizing it and saying and looking at it differently, or keep it the same way it's been? So me personally, sometimes I am scared of criticism and sometimes I don't take it well. Being honest,
Okay.
sometimes I don't take it well.
Yeah.
But when it is, and they mean it from a good place and it comes off, okay, I've noticed this myself too,
Yeah.
then I'll take it and really make the changes that are necessary to be made.
There you go.
So sometimes, yeah, I take criticism well. Sometimes I take criticism not so well. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you when you come when are you more uplifting to people than you are you more uplifting to other people than you are to yourself?
Yes.
I'd
Yes.
say half and half. I feel personally recently I've been doing a lot better. Um for a while, yeah, I have been very uplifting to others. Like you had said, it's easy to say it, but you got to, act it even though you may not feel it
Mhm.
deeply. So I'm a big believer. My mom's always told me, speaking into existence. So even though sometimes I'll be feeling, say, down or say I'm just, upset, say I don't even want to be there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm still there. And it's like, okay, my mood and how I feel about certain things can make a very big difference.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say, yeah. Um, I went everywhere else. What was the question again?
I was asking you, do you uplift others more than you uplift yourself? Or are you able to be nicer to other people, but not be so nice to yourself? Because you said you made a
Oh, then
comment.
yes.
Yeah, you made a comment that you're harder on yourself. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? And so like what type of stuff, like when you're hard on yourself, do you call yourself names? Is it like as a motivating factor involved in that? Do you just try to do better? Like how does that work?
I try and do better mainly. As I said, I analyze the situation. Every cause has an effect. So I look for the cause really. Um, I look for why I responded the way I did, why I go about certain things the way I do. So as far as criticizing myself, I definitely criticize myself more than I do other people because like you had said earlier, we can't control what other people do, can't control what other people say or how they feel. I can only control myself and I can change what's in my life. So whether it's the people around me, whether it's the people that or the places I go, I can choose where I go,